Hi everyone, good evening. So, I've been sharing some kind of a story with you each day. Uh, each of those stories carrying a little moral or a little uh, lesson for us to help us all lead better lives, to help us become aware of some of the mistakes we may be committing in our lives, some of the things to avoid, some of the things to do better, etc. So, continuing on that theme, here is another of those little gems, those little stories from my past, from our past. I'm sure many of you might have heard these stories or similar versions of the stories. Over the years, what happens is different people just add a little bit of their own life experiences to the stories, and stories get modified slightly, but the lesson remains the same. So this story is about honesty, uh, integrity, etc. So it's a story about, it's again based in a village. So it's a story of a farmer who had a dairy farm and a baker. So the baker was this farmer's customer, and the farmer was also the baker's customer. Both of them used to buy stuff from each other. Now, the baker always used to buy a pound of butter from the farmer. This had been going on for many years. And gradually, after about 5-6 years or so, the baker started to notice that the quantity of the butter seemed to be reducing. And he confronted the farmer. The farmer said, "No, I'm giving you the same as I always have given. I don't have any weighing machine, but I have my own way of measuring out what I have to give you. And I've never cheated on that. And I'm not a big farmer, so I can't afford any costly weighing scales or electronic equipment. It's a primitive, old-fashioned, this is happening ages ago, so we didn't have all these electronic scales. Probably we didn't even have normal scales. They must have had some crude balancing system. Anyway, so the farmer maintained that he was not to blame for the reduction. He was always abiding by whatever parameters he had been following. But the baker was not convinced, and he went to the village elder and made a formal complaint saying, the farmer is cheating me. He is supplying me with a lesser quantity of butter than he should be. So the elder asked the farmer, "What do you have to say in your defense?" So the farmer said, "See, as I said, I don't have any other system. I have always been buying a pound of bread from the baker. So what I do is, I measure the equal quantity of butter as the bread. So I weigh the butter against the bread and send it back to the baker. So he's been giving me a 1 pound loaf of bread. In return, I've been giving him a 1 pound, the equal weight of butter. So if at all the quantity of butter has reduced, it means the weight of his bread has reduced." In other words, the baker has already been cheating the farmer by supplying him with a reduced quantity of bread. So the farmer was actually weighing it against the same bread and giving back what he got. So now the baker stood exposed. So, a couple of old sayings come to mind, You get whatever you give, or whatever goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. all these parables or sayings have such deep meanings. So the baker had cheated the farmer, and he had to bear the consequences automatically. I mean, it just happened. The farmer didn't even know that he was being cheated, but fate or destiny or whatever it is had its own way of teaching the baker the lesson that if you cheat others, you can expect to suffer losses too. So this is a very important lesson, not only for us as individuals, but for us as businessmen also. Because in business particularly, business relies heavily on relationships, relies almost entirely on relationships. And if we, through some words or actions of ours, damage those relationships, the business could be lost forever. So it's very important that we take care of our relationships, maintain our integrity, never allow us anyone to point a finger and say, you cheated on me. It's okay to fail, it's okay to suffer losses in business, but it's not okay to cheat someone in business, because that will come back to bite you in some way or other at a later stage. So this is just something which struck my mind. I spent a little bit of time reading every day, and today this was the little story that caught my attention, and I thought I should share it with you all. A little later than usual today, because of the times, these are times when you're doing a lot of work from home, a lot of meetings happening on Zoom and Google Meet and whatnot. So I just finished a meeting, and I couldn't miss the video because this is the time and this is the day of the week when I have been regularly posting videos. And there is a lesson here as well. If you're going to do something, you have to be consistent about it as well. So I can't tell others to be consistent if I don't practice that consistency myself in the first place, which is why I made sure that even if it's a short anecdote and a short lesson, I should make it a point to share it with you. So thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Who knows, someone may find it interesting or useful. So until next time, stay home, stay safe, get vaccinated, and above all, keep smiling. Ta-da!